Hello and welcome to TVB News. Triggered by the mainland's policy to boost the economy, the local stock market had a record-breaking day. The Hang Seng Index surged over 700 points today amid record trading volumes at $445 billion. The index also logged its best weekly gain in 26 years. Jackie Lin has our top story.
Buoyed by a range of stimulus measures to boost the economy from Beijing and the chorus of positive sentiment from international financial institutions, the stock market has been injected with fresh momentum. The Hang Seng Index soared past 20,000 points at the open, jumping more than 707 points to 20,632 at the close of Friday trading. That marked the benchmark index's highest level since April 2023, marking an even more impressive record, a historic high in total transaction volumes at $445 billion. Stock commentator Wang Weiho said the momentum in Hong Kong stock trading has been strong these days and will likely continue over the coming days if the index can hold the 20,200 to 20,300 level. Fueling record trading volume to register the best week in 26 years were tech stocks including JD.com, which surged nearly 10%. Alibaba rallied nearly 5%. With Beijing's measures to stabilize the property market, property stocks also rose. Multiple insurance stocks, including Ping An, reached one-year highs. Bank stocks, however, were under downward pressure, with the 5 major state-owned bank stocks dipping by 2 to 6%. After Adrian Chang stepped down from his role as New World Development's chief executive officer, the conglomerate stock resumed trading, rising by 2%. The trading volume of Hong Kong stocks has surged over the past few days. The stock of Hong Kong exchanges and clearing rose by more than 10%. Increasing in tandem, the government's tax income from the trading transactions earned $2.7 billion over the past 5 days. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
Professor Dennis Lo has been appointed as the new vice-chancellor and president of the Chinese University of Hong Kong in a unanimous vote by the governing council. Lo, a world-class molecular biologist, is currently the associate dean of medicine. He said that the university is back on the right track after the 2019 social unrest, with plans to reconstruct the student union. Jackie Lin has the story.
Molecular biologist Professor Dennis Lo was elected unanimously by the Chinese University of Hong Kong's governing council as its 9th vice-chancellor and president on Friday. The 61-year-old will begin his 5-year term on January 8th, succeeding Rocky Tuan. Meeting the press on Friday, Lo said he wants to bring CUHK to new heights while retaining its unique strengths.
My vision is that Chinese University of Hong Kong should maintain its uniqueness among the world's institutions. And our uniqueness is that we have a mission to bring Chinese culture to the world and to bring the best of world culture back to China.
Professor Lo is an award-winning molecular biologist known as the father of non-invasive prenatal testing, with his pioneering research that uses pregnant women's blood to detect fetal abnormalities. The technology has spared pregnant mothers from having to go through invasive procedures, which sometimes increase the risk of miscarriage. Apart from his current position as CUHK's Associate Dean of Medicine, Lo is also a member of Beijing's National Committee of the Chinese People's Political Consultative Conference and the Chief Executive's Policy Unit Expert Group. When asked if his political affiliations would affect CUHK's academic freedom, Lo has this to say.
Academic freedom is a cornerstone of university. And I believe actually that in Hong Kong, we have actually very good academic freedom. And of course, we have to bear in mind that we have to be law-abiding, and I'll continue to push forward research excellence with my tenureship.
Asked about the issue that CUHK was referred to as Rioters University during the 2019 social unrest, he said the institution had turned over a new leaf with plans to reconstruct a student union. CUHK Council Chairman Zhang Chai praised Lo for his humble character and expressed hope the university will see more research and innovation development, in addition to better communication with the council under Lo's leadership. Jackie Lin, TVB News.
More than 3,600 shops and restaurants in Hong Kong will offer special discounts to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the People's Republic of China. Participants in the National Day discount scheme have more than doubled this year. Timothy Lee tells us more.
With National Day arriving next Tuesday, 7 catering organizations are rolling out a discount scheme celebrating the birth of the People's Republic. Over 3,600 restaurants and shops will be offering discounts this year, more than double last year's figure. Restaurants across the city will offer 25% discounts starting on October 1st, with patrons only needing to pay 75% of the original price. That is because the catering sector hopes to celebrate the 75th anniversary of the People's Republic of China with members of the community. Participants in the scheme include many of the city's well-known restaurants, hotels, supermarkets, and convenience stores. Most of them will feature discounts for certain food items all day for dine-in customers on National Day, with some of them continuing to offer relevant discounts for up to 1 month. Lawmaker Tommy Cheung, who initiated the discount scheme, said the National Day discounts must be greater than those celebrating the establishment of the SAR government on July 1st. He added he's pleased with more businesses choosing to spread the discount offers over a longer period of time.
3 months ago, 4 months ago, I ate 3 meals a day on that particular day to take advantage of the discount. Thank God that they are doing it. A few of them are spreading it over more than 1 day. I think that should be more than sufficient. Instead of having everything for 70%, I'd rather we have more shops offering selected items than very few shops offering everything for 70%.
Representatives from various sectors hope the National Day discounts can help contribute to a vibrant atmosphere in the city. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
With 6 pandas under its care now, Ocean Park is planning to expand facilities. This will require financial support. But the park's chairman, Paolo Pong, says they are not going to raise ticket prices for the moment. Timothy Lee has the story.
Giant pandas Anan and CUHK, gifted by the central government to Hong Kong, arrived at Ocean Park yesterday. Ocean Park chairman Paolo Pong said the duo looked curious and excited about the new environment and are beginning to settle down. Their new home is the Hong Kong Jockey Club Sichuan Treasures. The first stage of its refurbishment has been completed. Work is in progress on the second stage, which includes adding fake snow and snowflake machines.
冬天如果有雪玩咧，佢哋又好活潑嘅。
Pong said pandas become lively when playing in snow in winter, and experts said pandas are playful and adore snowy environments. He hopes the park can create an environment in which pandas live with joy. The public are waiting to see whether the pair can breed. If babies do come along, they will need more space. Pong noted that this will be taken into account during expansion, but the theme park will not increase ticket prices at the stage.
會唔會一次過起一個即係好大嘅館？
Pong said they're considering a number of options, such as building a mega exhibit for the 6 pandas, or separating them into 2 or 3 facilities. He hopes to receive a government subsidy for the costly construction. Pong added the park is keen to build a brand for the pandas that include the old, the middle-aged, and the youth. Ocean Park will consider creating giant panda stories and even filming documentaries. Timothy Lee, TVB News.
Hong Kong raised the minimum wage for foreign domestic helpers by 2.5% to $4,990 per month. It will take effect for contracts signed from tomorrow. The SAR government said the decision was made considering the city's overall economy and labor market for the past year, as well as the short-term economic outlook. Meanwhile, the minimum food allowance for foreign domestic helpers will remain unchanged at $1,236 per month. Welcome back. Japan's ex-defense minister Shigeru Ishiba was elected president of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party. Ishiba will likely succeed the outgoing Fumio Kishida as the new prime minister on October 1st. Danny Zhou has the story.
In his 5th campaign bid, Shigeru Ishiba was elected as the new leader of the ruling Liberal Democratic Party, or LDP. Ishiba secured 215 votes in a runoff to beat out female rival Minister of State for Economic Security Sanai Takaichi, who received 194 votes. Former Environment Minister Shinjiro Koizumi came third, winning 136 votes in the first race. Ishiba's win sets him up to become the next Prime Minister of Japan, as the LDP's ruling coalition is controlling the parliament. In a news conference held this afternoon, he said revitalizing consumption is key for Japan to emerge from economic stagnation, and promised full exit from high inflation with growth in real wages. He vowed the LDP could now be reborn and regain the trust of people. Originally from Yazoo in the western Japanese prefecture of Tottori, the 67-year-old Ishiba began his career as a banker after graduating from the prestigious Keio University in law. He was first elected to the parliament in 1986 at the age of 29 and was appointed as defense minister in 2007. He served as Minister of Agriculture, Forestry and Fisheries from 2008 to 2009. Ishiba has proposed an Asian vision of the NATO military alliance to manage the geopolitical situation in the Asia-Pacific. In August, he led a Japanese bipartisan lawmakers delegation to visit Taiwan regarding increasing deterrence to maintain peace in the Taiwan Strait, which sparked Beijing's strong opposition. Incumbent Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and his cabinet, dogged by party slush fund scandals, will resign next Tuesday. The foreign ministry in Beijing expressed the hope that the new Japanese government will work with China to ensure the sustained, sound and steady development of bilateral relations along the right track. Danny Zhou, TVB News.
Foreign Minister Wang Yi is expected to hold a meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken later on Friday. A phone call between President Xi Jinping and U.S. President Joe Biden is also anticipated later in autumn. The meeting is slated to take place on the sidelines of the United Nations General Assembly in New York City. It comes amid increasing U.S. concerns regarding China's so-called material support to Moscow, including the supply of chips and drones. The Biden administration has tightened China's access to advanced semiconductors and hiked up tariffs on electric vehicles, solar panels, and steel. Earlier this week, Beijing urged Washington to remove all the additional tariffs on Chinese goods. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is expected to meet former U.S. President Donald Trump in the coming hours. Trump does not agree with current U.S. support for Ukraine. He's likely to tell Zelensky to negotiate with Moscow. In contrast, Trump's presidential rival Kamala Harris stood by Zelensky, saying making a deal with Vladimir Putin would be surrender. David Garrett reports.
The guard outside the White House salutes as the Ukrainian president arrives. The US flag and the yellow and blue standard of Ukraine on the bonnet of the Chevrolet. Volodymyr Zelensky is ushered inside as he makes a personal plea for US support. He's in America to set out his victory plan for the war with Russia and needs their help. Two presidents side by side. Joe Biden is giving his Ukrainian counterpart nearly $2.5 billion in new security assistance, some of it funded using frozen Russian assets. Biden says the US supports Ukraine accession to the EU and NATO.
Russia will not prevail in war. Russia will not prevail. Ukraine will prevail, and we'll continue to stand by you every step of the way.
For your strong support for the decision that are helping us protect Ukraine, Ukrainians, our home. We deeply appreciate that Ukraine and America have stood side by side from the very first moments of this terrible Russian invasion. Your determination is incredibly important for us to prevail.
Zelensky met members of the Senate. His trip last week to an arms factory in Biden's hometown of Scranton in swing state Pennsylvania angered Republicans who say the Democrats used it to enhance their election campaign. They've also called for Zelensky to take action.
Will you fire your ambassador, sir?
The Ukrainian president did not respond to that as he went on to meet Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. Zelensky knows the result of November's election will have a huge impact on his country.
As I have made clear on our 6 previous meetings and throughout Putin's brutal aggression and war against Ukraine, my support for the people of Ukraine is unwavering.
Donald Trump has encouraged Ukraine to negotiate with Vladimir Putin. The Republican presidential candidate is likely to be less supportive, a point jumped on by Harris.
In candor, I share with you, Mr. President, there are some in my country who would instead force Ukraine to give up large parts of its sovereign territory, to forego security relationships with other nations. These proposals are the same of those of Putin. And let us be clear, they are not proposals for peace. Instead, they are proposals for surrender.
It's not a surrender. What my strategy is to save lives. I want to save lives. Millions of people are dead. Millions more than they even think about. And it's not my fight, but it is a fight to save humanity. I look forward to seeing him tomorrow. We'll see. I do believe I disagree with him. Well, he doesn't know me, but I disagree. But I will say this. I believe I will be able to make a deal between President Putin and President Zelensky quite quickly.
The former and possibly next president will meet with Zelensky at Trump Tower later. David Garrett, TVB News.
That's the news. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend.